A K9 unit had been brought in for a routine inspection at a nursing home. But when the dog halted at a blocked-off hallway, began clawing at the wall, and refused to stop barking, the nurses panicked. Moments later, a concealed door was uncovered, and behind it was something no one had seen in over a decade. What the dog exposed shocked the entire country. It was supposed to be a calm day, just a simple K9 visit meant to lift residents' moods and review safety procedures. Officer Daniels walked alongside his loyal partner, Titan, a sharp-nosed German shepherd with years of duty behind him. Laughter drifted through the halls as nurses guided residents toward the recreation room. Titan stayed relaxed at first, sniffing hands and accepting pats. But as they approached the East Wing, a hallway rarely used, Titan suddenly froze. His ears twitched. He growled. Daniels pulled lightly on the leash. "What is it, buddy?" Titan's muscles tightened. In an instant, he lunged forward, claws screeching across the tiles as he bolted down the empty corridor. Nurses gasped. An elderly woman dropped her cup. Titan skidded to a stop in front of an unlabeled door, barking wildly. Whatever was behind that door didn't belong there. He scratched aggressively, his barks bouncing through the deserted hallway. Deep growls vibrated from his chest as he clawed at the frame with fierce urgency. Daniels hurried up behind him, alarmed. "Easy, Titan, what's happening?" A nurse arrived, breathing hard and pale. "That door's been sealed for years," she whispered. "It used to be an old supply room. Nobody enters it anymore." Daniels frowned. "Then why is it locked with a deadbolt on the outside?" The nurse hesitated. "Probably old safety rules. Things get forgotten in places like this." Titan wasn't convinced. He trembled with tension, nose pressed against the crack as if sensing something no human could detect. A nearby resident murmured, "That room gives me nightmares." Daniel stepped back, unclipped Titan's leash, and grabbed his radio. "Dispatch, we need assistance. Something's off." Minutes later, backup arrived. 2 officers and a maintenance worker with bolt cutters. The atmosphere grew heavy. Nurses exchanged nervous looks as residents were guided away. Titan stayed glued to the door, pacing, growling low. With a loud snap, the deadbolt broke. Daniels pushed the door open slowly. A cloud of dust floated out, burning their eyes and filling the air with a stale metallic smell. The light switch flickered but didn't work, so they switched to flashlights. Inside, the room looked frozen in time. Piles of rusted wheelchairs, broken crutches and cracked bedpans cluttered the space. But in the corner lay something different. A tarp smeared with dried stains, neatly folded. Beside it, a small plastic-wrapped bundle partly buried beneath debris. Daniels approached, heart thudding. Titan barked once sharply. "What is this place?" an officer whispered. No one replied. As they moved debris aside, Titan circled the back wall, sniffing and scratching. His claws tapped against a section of paneling that sounded hollow. Daniels ran his hand along it and found a thin, nearly invisible seam. "There's something behind this." Using a crowbar, they pried it open. Behind the wall was a narrow passage leading to another room, windowless, ventless, soundproofed. Their flashlights revealed dusty shelves, and something far worse. A row of faded children's toys, dolls, stuffed animals, plastic figurines, lined one corner. In the center sat a child-sized bed with restraints bolted to the frame. Beside it lay a stack of worn VHS tapes. Handwritten labels listed names and dates, some over 10 years old. Titan growled deep in his throat. Daniels went pale. "This wasn't a supply room," he said quietly. "This was a cell." Silence filled the air. The nursing home was locked down within the hour. Police tape sealed off the East Wing as forensic teams arrived. News spread quickly, but staff refused to speak, shaken and afraid. Officer Daniels questioned a retired nurse named Helen, now in her late 70s. When she saw photos of the room, her face drained of colour. "I warned them," she murmured. "Years ago, I said something was wrong. "What do you mean?" Daniels asked gently. "That room was forbidden. We were told it was for isolation back when things were different." "Who gave the orders?" "The old administrator, Mr. Callahan. He controlled everything. He disappeared right before the place was sold." Titan lay by her feet, ears low. Even he sensed the weight of her words. By morning, black SUVs pulled into the parking lot. The FBI had taken over. Special Agent Rivera, known for exposing institutional crimes, stepped through the caution tape. "Walk me through it," she said. Daniels explained Titan's reaction, the sealed door, and the hidden chamber. Rivera listened silently. Agents photographed the restraints, collected tapes, and dusted for prints. Then someone opened a cabinet stuffed with old patient records, some matching current residents, others not. One list contained children's names with a column labelled status. Most read one haunting word, discharged. Rivera's jaw tightened. These aren't real discharges, they're cover-ups. Titan watched from the hallway, sensing more secrets buried deeper. Rivera ordered immediate access to old local law enforcement files. Within hours, analysts found disturbing links. Names from the nursing home appeared in several missing persons reports between 2009 and 2014. Most cases were marked closed due to administrative errors or relocation with no follow-up. One case stood out, a 6-year-old girl temporarily placed at Ridgeway after a family tragedy. Her case went cold, no next of kin, no body. "What child gets placed in a nursing home?" Rivera muttered. Daniels shook his head. "Someone hid it in paperwork." More files appeared, complaints, strange noises, injuries, children seen at odd hours. All dismissed. This wasn't negligence, it was intentional. The home hadn't just failed people, it had concealed them. And now, because of Titan, everything buried was surfacing. Forensic teams examined the hidden chamber. Soon, they uncovered something horrifying. Small bones wrapped in decayed fabric beneath the floorboards. A tiny bracelet clung to one wrist, engraved with the name Liar. DNA testing confirmed the remains belonged to Liar Thompson, missing for 12 years. Her file had stated she was relocated. Rivera's expression darkened. They never meant to move her anywhere. Her parents, living out of state, were notified. The call shattered them. They had searched for years, believing strangers had taken her, not realizing she'd been hidden in a place meant to protect. Daniels sat quietly as Titan rested by him. The truth had been buried, but now it was awake. The arrest came at dawn. Former administrator Harold Callahan was found in a lakeside cabin 2 states away. He had changed his name and disappeared after selling Ridgeway Hills. But the files, DNA and testimonies tied him directly to the hidden chamber. He didn't fight. He just sat there as if he'd been expecting this. Back at Ridgeway, more residents spoke up. Weak voices describing shadows, noises and screams they were ordered to forget. A former nurse admitted she had been threatened if she talked. "They said it was therapy," she sobbed, "but I knew it wasn't." Media outlets flooded the area. The public demanded answers. Lawsuits were filed. Politicians pushed for nationwide investigations into elder care facilities. But amid all the chaos, one truth remained. Without Titan, it might have stayed hidden forever. A month later, the town held a quiet ceremony outside the now-closed Ridgeway Hills. Families, officers and neighbours gathered, not just to mourn, but to honour the truth finally uncovered. At the centre stood Titan, coat brushed, eyes alert. A little girl about 6 stepped forward holding a velvet box. She was Liar's niece, born after her disappearance. She placed a medal around Titan's neck, engraved in gold, for revealing the truth. Titan didn't bark, he simply stood tall. Daniels knelt beside him and whispered, "You didn't just find a room, you returned voices to the forgotten." Agent Rivera stepped forward. 7 cold cases are reopened because of this dog. The crowd applauded as tears filled their eyes.